What is up, YouTube? It is Jared. You are watching Spinning Wheel, and today I am going to be teaching you guys how to drive a manual transmission vehicle or a standard transmission vehicle, however you want to say it. Yeah, this video was actually suggested by one of my viewers again. It's actually a lot of fun to do these videos suggested by you guys, the viewers. So if you guys have more suggestions, just leave them in the comments below. I'll do what I can for you. But yeah, so let's go learn how to drive a manual transmission vehicle, all right? Let's go. All right, so which car to use for this video? Tough choice. Honda, BMW, Civic, or the E36 convertible? We'll go with this one. Why not? It's way more fun. Couple things before we get started. One, you definitely want to have a pair of driving shoes. Really, you just want something that's thin that you're going to be able to feel the pedals through. So for me, I have a pair of Puma Evo Speeds. They're very comfortable. They've got a nice little heel support. Also, the sole is very thin, allows my feet to really feel the pedals, and it almost feels like my feet are doing more of the work than the shoe doing the work, and that's what you want. The second thing you need to learn how to drive a manual transmission vehicle is, of course, a manual transmission vehicle. If you don't have one of those, pause the video now, go out, buy one, come back, and start the video over, all right? Now, the first thing you're going to notice when you're driving a manual transmission car, or when you get in the driver's seat of a manual transmission vehicle, you have three pedals here. You've got we'll start with this one. This is the gas, just like normal. This is the brake, just like normal. This third pedal over here on the left, though, this is what's the clutch, what's known as the clutch. All right? We'll get back to that in a second. The reason I'm in the BMW today as opposed to the Honda Civic is because I have the gear shift pattern knob still on the BMW. I don't have it on the Honda anymore. Now, this is very important. R is your reverse gear. Then obviously you have your first gear, second gear, third gear, fourth gear, and fifth gear. And the little lines tell you kind of where everything is at. So if I was trying to get into first gear, over and up. If I want second gear, it's just straight back from first gear. Third gear, fourth gear, fifth gear. Now reverse, you have to push a little harder to get over and up. All right, and that's just a BMW E36 thing. All right. All right. Now the first thing I'm going to teach you about driving a manual transmission is how to start the vehicle. A lot of the videos I've seen don't actually talk about how to start the vehicle. It just tells you kind of how to shift, how to get into first gear, all that stuff without stalling, which is great, but you also have to know how to start a vehicle with a manual transmission car. To do so, you need to depress the clutch. You have to push it all the way to the floor and then hit the brake if you don't want to move around, because once you hit the clutch, you are in neutral, essentially. A lot of cars with manual transmission have an e-brake. A lot of times people will pull the e-brake to keep the car from rolling around when they're parking the car. Some people like to put it into gear. I don't like to put it into gear because sometimes I forget it's in gear, and once I take my foot off the clutch, once I've started the car, it stalls because I'm not going anywhere. So always push in the clutch before you start the car. All right? So that's the first step. Now that we've learned how to start the vehicle on a manual transmission car, the next thing you need to learn is how to get it into first gear and to start moving. That is the hardest thing to do in a manual transmission vehicle. Okay, so this is the thing to think about when you're driving a manual transmission vehicle. Once you try to get going, let's pretend this hand is your clutch pedal and this hand is your gas pedal. All right, and this is what you need to do. So to get going, you push the clutch in all the way. Obviously, then you put the car into first gear. Once you've done that, slowly release the clutch and slowly press the gas pedal at the same time. You should meet about the middle, and you should be able to pass each other. And you just to first start out, make sure you go really slow so you can kind of feel it. And this is why you need thin sole shoes. So we're just gonna get started. I'm gonna just kind of show you real quick what I'm talking about. So we're gonna start the car. Remember, you gotta push in the clutch to start the car. So clutch is all the way in. Started the car, all right? I leave the clutch pedal in and make sure that the car's not in gear before I do anything, just because I don't want to stall the car. So I'm in neutral, I don't have any gear selected right now, so I'm good. Obviously, you're gonna wanna get rid of the e-brake. Push to do the e-brake, you just push the little button in at the top, all the way down, okay? Now, you are essentially in neutral, so if you're not on a flat surface, you're gonna start rolling, put your foot on the brake, okay? Here we go. So, clutch in, first gear selected, and I'm gonna start letting off the clutch, and on the gas, you see how I kind of did that? It's weird because it's so hard to teach over video, it really is, but that is the easiest way I can think to do this. All right, now go to an empty parking lot, put the car in first, and just try moving the car, getting the car going. Once you've gotten the car going and your foot's completely off the clutch, then go for a little bit, stop, do it again, put the car in neutral, push in the clutch, put it into first gear, start again. That's gonna be the hardest thing to learn, is the start. So I'm about to get out on the road, clutch in, first gear selected. Slowly let off the clutch, push the gas pedal in. Now my foot's completely off the clutch. To change gears, you need to push in the clutch, let your foot off the brake at the same time, and then you just change the gear to whatever gear you need. It's very simple once you're going. The trickiest part is getting started. Now, something that is very important to know is that there's no real rhyme or reason for when you select a gear. Obviously, you don't want to be revving your car up to 5,000 RPMs before you switch gears. So as a rule of thumb, I like to switch gears roughly around 3,000, maybe 3,500 RPM. That's just me. If I'm going for a driving experience and I want to have a lot of fun and really listen to the engine rev, I will take it up to 4,000 or 5,000 RPMs every once in a while, but you're not going to get great gas mileage with that, and it's not necessary every time. All you need to do is get it up to about 3,000 RPM and then switch gears. So right now I'm in first gear still, only going about 2,500 RPM because I'm turning and there's a semi truck in front of me. Alright, that time I revved it to 4,000 RPMs. It doesn't really matter. The biggest thing is once you get high enough, push the clutch in, take your foot off the gas pedal, switch the gear, and then release the clutch and push the gas pedal down at the same time. It's really, really simple once you get going. The big thing is getting going. Alright, so that is basically the essentials on how to drive a manual transmission. Anyways, I hope that this video was helpful. If you guys enjoyed it, definitely give it a thumbs up, like, comment, all that good stuff. Definitely subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching. Keep it yagging, and I'll see all of you later.